Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make this equal 0. So, well, not equal 0, but you want this to be greater than 0. So I'm going to add 48 to both sides. And so I get 2x to the third power minus 3x squared minus 32x plus 48 is greater than 0. Okay. The next thing you got to do is factor. This is a polynomial, so if I want to solve it, if I want to find the critical values, I must factor. So you can factor using grouping or the big box. I'm going to use the box. You can use grouping if you'd like. 2x to the third minus 3x squared minus 32x plus 48. And then you look at each of these columns and each of these rows, and you look at what you can divide each of those terms by. So for this one right here, I can definitely divide them both by 2x. This one right here, I can divide them both by 3. That's right? Yes, that's right. And this one right here, I can divide them both by x squared. And this one right here, I can divide those both by 16. All right, now I'm checking my box to make sure everything works. And right now it doesn't, because I have a positive times a positive that does not equal negative. So you could change the sign for one of these. Doesn't matter. I like making this one negative. I prefer that than making that one negative. And now it works. Negative 3 times this is negative 3x squared. But what about negative 3 times positive 16? Does that give me a positive 48? No. That means this one also has to be negative, because then we would have a negative times a negative equals a positive. And now we have a positive times a negative equals a negative. So everything works. Everything works so far. So now I have, when I factor this, I get 2x minus 3 and x squared minus 16. Can I factor any more? Yeah. Factor this. That's a difference of squares. So I'm going to write 2x minus 3 times x minus 4, x plus 4. All right, let me pause right here and let you guys catch up. Let's continue on. Now I'm pretending that this equals 0 because that's how I find critical points. I set each of those factors equal to 0, and then I get, what are my values? What are my critical points? My critical locations are at 3 over 2, and then plus or minus 4. Okay, do you guys see where I got 3 over 2? I set this guy equal to 0, and then that's what I got. See, I go 2x minus 3 equals 0. I add 3 to both sides. I get 2x equals 3, and then I would divide both sides by 2, and that's how I got 3 over 2. Now, I got to put all these on a number line. All right, negative 4 and positive 4 are, simple enough. But where do I put the 3 over 2? If you're not sure, make 3 over 2 into a mixed number. You would go 3 divided by 2, which equals 1, and then you would have 1 left over, so it's 1 1/2. That's going to be right about around here, so let's put 3 over 2 right here. Okay, I have how many intervals? How many intervals do I have to test? 4. That's how many. There's one right here, there's one right here, there's one right here, and there's one right here. You have to test each of these intervals. And what you're doing is you're going to pick a number in the middle, or in these intervals. It doesn't matter what number you pick. Like this one. Just give me a number. An easy number. Negative 5 is an easy number. Give me a number that's in this interval. 0. That's great. That's an easy one. And then what's the number between these? Dos. And then 5, shall we? Yes. Yes. Okay. I'm going to put parentheses around it. These numbers, we got to plug into this to see which of them are true, which of them work. Now, here's the neat part. You see how it says greater than 0? What numbers are greater than 0?
Everything that is
all positive numbers. So I just care if this negative 5 makes me a positive number right here. So I don't have to finish it. I just have to know if it's going to be positive. So can we do this in our head? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. What is negative 5 raised to the third power? Negative 125. And so I'm going to have 2 times negative 125. That's actually not that bad. I could probably do it in my head pretty easily. Negative 5 squared. Negative 5 squared is positive 25 times a negative 3. That would be a negative 75. Is everybody still with me? Yeah. Okay, I'm just writing the numbers out to make sure you guys are following me. Now I have a negative 32 times a negative 5. That would be a positive number. Right? So I've got a positive. That'd be 160. And then we have 48 chilling right here. So the question is, who wins, the positives or the negatives? Here, let's do this one really fast. That would be a negative 250. Which one do you suppose we have more of?
The negative.
More negatives? Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. If you weren't sure, you would do it all the way. And I'm going to write negative right here for this interval. This interval right here gets a negative. All right, what about this next interval? This one should be pretty quick because it's 0. If I plug 0 into that, it's 0, 0, 0. Then I have a positive 48. So what is it? Positive. Okay, the next interval, 2. If I plug 2 into this, what do I get? 2 to the third power is? 8. 8 times 2 is? 16. Okay, we got 16 right here. And then we have 2. 2 raised to the second power is 4. 4 times 3 is negative 12 because it's a negative. And then 2 times 32, negative 32 is going to be negative 64. And then I'm adding 48. Ooh, that one's pretty close. I don't know. Let's add our negatives and then compare. Let's see, that would be 76. Negative 76. And the positives would be 48 and 16. That would be 54, 64. All right, positives lose. So our answers are negative. Our answers will be negative. All right, then we have 5. Ooh, the last one. Now, as we start getting really good at this, you might be able to figure these out by not plugging this in, but I'm going to keep plugging them in because that's the way we're going to do. All right. Oh, 5 and negative 5. Hey, we got a little shortcut here. Can't we just look at this and just change the signs of things? Okay, 5 raised to the third power, that'd be a positive 125, right? Or 250. And then this one right here would still be negative because that would be a positive 25 times a negative 3. So that's going to stay. This one right here, negative 32 times 5. Negative 32 times 5, that would be that'd be a negative 160. Oh, snappity wackety dackety. All right, so we have a positive 25, a positive 40. This is really close to call. No? Yes? No, actually, this. If I add 75 to this, that'd be a negative 2 something, right? Which I think is still lower than positive 25 or 250 plus that. Yeah, so this is going to be a positive for show. So now we have all the signs. Now we know the solutions. Where is this? When I say where, I want x values. Where is this greater than 0? Or I can say, where is this positive? This interval and this one. So how do we write that? Our final answer is going to be negative 4 to 3 over 2. Wait, are these parentheses or brackets?
Parentheses.
How do you know?
It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't say equal to. And 4 to infinity. So that's our answer. How do we get that? We got that because these intervals that have the plus signs, those are our answers.